What's good, Cosmo Collective? Welcome back to Eternity Tarot. I'm Eternity, and if it's your first time joining me, welcome. And if you're returning, thanks so much for returning. In today's reading, we'll be exploring how you can align with your soul's next chapter. We're going to be looking into any upcoming lessons that Spirit wants to make you aware of, and we're also going to be looking into your soul's next journey. What journey does your soul want to take you on, so that you guys can venture together? As always, this is a timeless reading, and of course, it's also a collective reading. So I'm going to ask that you use your discernment and only take the messages that resonate and leave anything behind that doesn't. If you want to skip all the way to your reading, then the timestamps are down below, and if not, let's get to the pile selection. For pile 1, we have the 9 of Wands, or the card in the thumbnail with the blue border. For pile 2, we have the Ace of Swords, or the card in the thumbnail with the pink border. For pile 3, we have the Lovers, or the card in the thumbnail with the green border. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and choose whichever pile called out to you, and I'll meet you at your reading. Pile 1, if you chose the 9 of Wands, or the card in the thumbnail with the blue border, this is your reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. Let's get into it. Messages for pile 1, please, Spirit. How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Messages for pile 1, please, Spirit. How can pile 1's soul? How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? How can pile 1 align? Oh my God. Thank you, Spirit. One more time. How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? There we go. Pile 1, we have the Tower. How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? I have to say, pile 1, off top, shuffling for you is a little bit challenging. Like, the cards just feel so chaotic. And of course, we're seeing that Tower card as well, which also speaks to a little bit of chaos. So I think Spirit is already saying that to align with your soul's next chapter, a Tower moment is coming in your life, and they just need you to roll with it. My goodness. Okay. Not going to take those just yet. For pile 1, how can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Ten of Cups. So the purpose of this Tower is going to be to bring the 10 of Cups your way. But first, Spirit has to level the playing field. Knight of Wands. We have something passionate coming in for you as well. How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter, please, Spirit? My goodness. Thank you, Spirit. The Magician. Pile 1, I have to say, I'm not really enjoying taking cards for you today. I don't know if there's Interesting. What was that? Maybe you're someone struggling right now. You feel a little bit cursed, or like there's a rain cloud over you. That's what I got, like a little bit of a rain cloud. I'm definitely going to recommend doing some protective work and spiritual cleansing work for Pile 1, because I am feeling an energy here that isn't the most positive. It's not the most negative, and it's not as bad as maybe you've perceived it as being sort of cursed, but there is an attachment here, Pile 1, which is not conducive to your growth. And I can feel it. It's very subtle. It's like just a faint energy that is just lingering and attached. So spirit might be calling you to break this attachment and cleanse yourself in order to have the tower and move forward with your life. Maybe you just feel like something recently has been draining you, or maybe you have an old relationship that's lingering and spirit is calling you to move forward in order to be able to manifest. I am getting that this attachment is removing this attachment specifically is how you can align with your soul's next chapter and your soul's growth ultimately. It could be that you're dealing with grief, and there's just a little bit of that grief that hasn't fully been processed and has been lingering, leaving you feeling demotivated or a little bit depressed, and just forgetting that you're alive. This can happen oftentimes with people dealing with grief, because sometimes our fixation is so heavily on death. If we lost someone very important to us, I'm getting that someone may have lost their mother, and their mother was like a tether for them. She kept you grounded, and she was like your guiding light, your beacon, and your hope. So you feel a little bit lost, and that grief is just like, I saw a very thin gray mist in my mind's eye when I felt this energy. It's just like a haze, a constant haze that is keeping you from your soul's alignment. And we do see the magician, which is the ability to manifest in alignment with your soul there. So I'm not surprised we have this tower that allows you to awake to your 10 of Cups and finally move forward past something. Let's keep going. How can Pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Wands. So maybe you're someone who is struggling a bit with manifesting material abundance. Maybe you're down on your luck. Maybe you are someone struggling with houselessness at the moment. Maybe you're living in your car. I was getting someone who maybe lives in Los Angeles, is pursuing dreams in the entertainment industry, and is just generally feeling a bit lost and directionless, and like things aren't working out. Spirit is saying you maybe made this decision from a place of grief, a loss of someone or something who was a protector and a source of guidance for you. And now you have to learn to reshape yourself and become your own source of protection and guidance. That way you can manifest this victory and this material abundance. And material abundance in that 10 of Cups looks different for everyone. You know, if you already have a house, then material abundance looks like a bigger bank account or a bigger house. If you are someone living out of their car, then that material abundance, that victory might just be to be able to afford your first apartment or your next apartment. And for some of you that are in, say, the music industry, that next material abundance or big win might be having someone important. I'm getting that maybe there's a songwriter here, someone important choose your song, and that turning into a hit. All the messages are going to be different, so just take what resonates. But how can Pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Yeah, we have death here. So death is the ultimate transformation for you, Pile One. And that may have been the actual transformation of someone else. As I already mentioned, if you're feeling grief, maybe you lost someone very close to you. I'm also getting that maybe it was a best friend or a childhood best friend, someone you were close with, perhaps lost to gun violence, or something like gang related. That's not going to resonate with everyone. It could also just mean spirit would like you to do a total transformation and overhaul within yourself and really take accountability and take stock of what traits and aspects of yourself and your character are worth keeping and are for your soul's highest good and alignment, and what aspects and character traits of yourself need to be done away with. You know, maybe you're someone who is a hustler who works really hard, but you spend way too much money, and so you make a ton of money but you're always spending it, so you never have enough. You know, spirit is saying in that instance you would keep that hustler's capabilities, your ability to manifest and attract abundance and victory, but you would incorporate a new trait, which is the ability to save money in financial planning and financial stability, because that too, if we're constantly burning a hole in our pocket and spending money like water, like we might as well spend it because we don't know when we're going to get it back. That too is a scarcity mindset. Messages for Pile 1. How can Pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? Messages for Pile 1. How can Pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Thank you, Spirit. So we have Judgment and the Ace of Wands. And I'm going to take those separately because I feel called to. And for the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. So for some of you, this message is in regards to choosing what kind of life you want with regards to your relationships, both platonic and romantic and familial relationships. Spirit is, I'm getting a message here for that person who maybe lost their mother or lost some chosen family. Spirit has brought this tower moment into your life so that you can choose and be more intentional with your interpersonal connections and relationships going forward. So maybe you lost your guiding light, your protector, or someone incredibly close to you, and that destabilized you. But Spirit is always, everything is always working in our favor, and Spirit is always doing things for our highest alignment. So Spirit is saying, yes, you've lost someone, but it's important not to stay in that grief headspace, because now you have a blank canvas to choose and discern with intentionality those who are aligned with your soul's highest growth, your higher self, your fullest potential. You know, in the past, maybe you chose connections just based on proximity, or, you know, you never really took the time to get to know people's character. They were just there for you, always people around, and some of them ended up being real, some of them ended up being fake. Now Spirit has brought this accountability here, which is funny because I was just talking about taking stock of your character traits. Now Spirit is saying we're giving you an opportunity to passionately be accountable about who you permit into your life. And also, in order not to find a new person to fill that space that this other person left, maybe you're just grieving a long-term friendship that's ended. Maybe the person hasn't actually transcended to a different plane. But Spirit is saying we're actually giving you an opportunity now, once you get over the grief and the loss of this tower that's built, or not built, this tower that has been leveled, you'll understand the opportunity that this provides for you to cultivate new and more meaningful relationships, intentionally choose and discern those who are around you, decide what kind of family structure that you're going to have or what kind of family you're going to build. Are you someone who wants to be married? Are you someone who wants to be common law married? Are you someone polyamorous? Are you someone who believes in long-term partnership? Do you want children? If you have children, how do you want to raise those children? All of these questions around mortality and legacy are starting to come up for you, Pile 1. And this is a part of how you can align with your soul's next chapter by choosing to answer the call and to answer those questions for yourself and really take the time to explore with accountability what life looks like for you from here on out. And Spirit is calling you to do that with some passion and some zeal, because it's not all bad, and they would really like to see the color come back to your life. They really would like you to stand in your own right and understand that you're still a master manifester, Pile 1. You can still create the life that you want. Just because something has ended or transformed, just because you've lost some things, it hasn't fundamentally changed you in the ways that you think. It doesn't mean you can't create from nothing. You can always create from where you are, whether that is someone who is in the music industry and just getting started or never had a big break, whether that's someone who's living in their car, you can always create from where you are. Whether that's someone who's starting from a place of grief or loss, if you did lose your mother or a childhood best friend or someone else, you can always start and create life from where you are. And whether that's someone who has recently had a huge friendship breakup, you can always find a new meaningful best friend. But Spirit is asking you to create this as a foundation. Create it from a place that's built to last. Don't just go with things as they come to you like you have in the past. Now Spirit is asking you to powerfully choose, and your soul is asking you to powerfully choose what these interpersonal connections and relationships are going to look like in the near future for you. And they're also asking you what these new foundations in your life are going to look like in the near future for you. Pile 1, let's take a couple more tarot cards for you and get a little bit more to the story, babes. I also want to say before we move forward, Spirit is also letting you know with that 10 of Cups and that 4 of Wands and the Ace of Wands, this is going to be a vigorous and invigorating time in your life. And this is going to set the stage for a beautiful life and a beautiful celebration of the foundations that you've built for yourself, because they're going to be built to last. And that's why Spirit gave you the 4 of Wands. And for some of you, we're also talking about building a marriage that's built to last. So if you're someone who's recently divorced or lost hope in love, maybe there's a message here for you. I do see marriage for those of you that it resonates with in your alignment and as a part of your soul's next chapter. So go you, period. Let's take a few more tarot cards for you, Pile 1. Messages for Pile 1. Can we get more to the story, please, Spirit? Messages for Pile 1 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Okay, you want me to take those, Spirit? We've got the 9 of Swords and the King of Cups reversed. How can Pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? Ooh, chaos. Interesting. That's the second time I said chaos, isn't it? Queen of Cups upright. So I am getting that there is an overall energy of chaos either incoming, which you will get through, or you're already in a state of chaos right now, Pile 1. But again, the message is you will get through it, okay? for pile 1. Okay, we'll take both of those. 8 of Swords and the 4 of Swords. Spirit, clarify the 9 of Swords upright and the King of Cups reversed. Clarify the 9 of Swords upright and the the 9 of Swords upright and the King of Cups reversed. 8 of Cups. So we do have you walking away from something. Maybe it's a relationship. That could be a romantic relationship, could be a familial relationship. It could also just be speaking to that grief again. But Spirit is asking you to walk away from what's creating anxiety for you and emotionally destabilizing you. Let's keep going. Clarify the Queen of Cups upright. Thank you. We have the Sun. Yes, Spirit is asking you... Spirit is asking you to step into the more feminine energy with regards to your emotions, meaning nurturing yourself a little bit more rather than the masculine aspects to your emotional energy. Did I say that right? I'm feeling a little weird with this pile about 1. It feels like I'm reaching for so much and it's just not living up to my expectations is what Spirit said. I don't know if that resonates for you. Sound off in the comments if that resonated for you, pile 1. That's just what I felt called to say. Let's try that again. Spirit is asking you to walk away from the emotional side of yourself that's operating in a masculine capacity, because we see this King of Cups in reverse. And this is someone, let's just read the card real quick. It says warm, generous, honorable, refined. Yes, it is safe to trust, the ability to accomplish many things at once and follow your creative passions. So there's a certain level of stoicism present with how emotions are being presented. And we see that in reverse because Spirit is asking you, okay, I got the message finally, Spirit. Spirit is asking you to get rid of that stoicism. Walk away. If you're someone who's struggling with grief, walk away from trying to hold these emotions within. Or maybe you're someone, if it was a family member that passed, maybe you're the person who's solely responsible for like making arrangements or keeping everyone's emotions together. And Spirit is saying walk away from that because it's just creating anxiety for you, and it's deterring your ability to process your own grief. Spirit is asking you to take a more feminine energy approach with regards to your emotions. And they're saying it's time to go within, to nurture yourself, to process these emotions, and to allow yourself to grieve whatever you've lost, and allow yourself to fully grieve this tower moment that has shaken your world up. You lost something and it's okay. You don't have to be the strong one. Maybe you're the person who's the strong friend in the group, and you know they historically say like no one checks up on the strong friend in the group. Spirit is saying ask for help if you need it. Do not suffer in silence, because as soon as you decide to stop suffering in silence and to stop being stoic and being the person who bears everyone else's emotions and allows them to process, you know, this isn't an energy that is as strong as, say, the King of Swords, but stop always putting that brave face on. That's how we open the Sun. And it literally says, life is wonderful. Thrive through the power of positive thinking and inspiring success. This is what's going to allow you to engage with life again in a more full way. And this is what's going to remind you of your vitality and all that you can create, Pile 1. this is why it's about aligning with your soul's next chapter, because Spirit wants you to walk this journey so that you can be invigorated again and understand that you're still living and you still have opportunity to create, as I've already said here. And then we have the Eight of Swords upright and the Four of Swords upright. This is about needing rest, and also about self-sabotaging or self-limiting behavior. So Spirit is saying replace those self-limiting or self-sabotaging behaviors, even if you don't know that that's what they are, which we saw with that stoicism in the King of Cups reverse. Replace that with rest, because you do need rest. It's time to lighten your load and let go of some of the things that are burdening you. And that might be anxiety if you're having a lot of sleepless nights. Clarify the Eight of Swords upright and the Four of Swords upright, please, Spirit, for pile 1. How can pile 1 align with their soul's next chapter? So before I take that last clarifying card, Spirit just told me to tell you, if you are someone who is struggling with grief or lost someone, Spirit just said as a message from them, the message is to live for me. That's what they said. The best thing that you can do with your life is not to be sad that I'm gone and to waste away and to waste your days focusing on having lost me. They're always watching over you. They're watching your journey now, and they don't want you to miss all that life has to offer. So they're saying to live for me. The best thing you can do right now is live for me. Live your life to the fullest, because depending on which story resonates and aligns with you, if this is a younger childhood friend or someone you lost to some sort of gun or gang violence, they're saying that they didn't get a chance to live out their full length of time. I'm getting that this is someone younger. Maybe like, I know it's, we live in America, but I'm just saying as a channel, I'm getting someone like a 19-year-old black boy with a shaved head, like, I don't know what they call it. Like a fade haircut named Trey or Troy or something like that. And he's saying to like live your life, because he didn't get to live, like well into adulthood, and he doesn't want you to stop just because of this. He wants you to experience everything that you can. And I'm getting that person is maybe talking to a brother specifically. An older brother, maybe. Okay, guys, I wasn't expecting to... Come on. Come on, the Fool. Oh my goodness. I wasn't expecting to channel, but you can't tell me that channeling wasn't a confirmation for something or someone, because how is it that the next card is the Fool? And I just told you, Pile 1, the message for how you can align with your soul's next chapter is to live your life to the fullest. And what card in the deck lives their life to the fullest more than the Fool? This is the person who has the most vitality, because they're exploring the world around them for the first time. This is Spirit saying, like, try new things, find new things that make you feel more in love with life and more alive. And let me be very clear. Spirit isn't saying to find vices. Spirit isn't saying to like try all the drugs in the world. Spirit isn't saying to go down a path of addiction or chase a high. Like if you've watched Twilight New Moon, Spirit isn't saying to pull a Bella and, like cliff dive. But Spirit is saying, stop and smell the flowers, go out hiking, take up a new hobby, try to make music. And if you're that songwriter, use this time to write your first album. Work in a coffee shop, try coffee, different coffees. I don't know why that's coming up. Maybe that resonates for someone. Travel. Be an explorer. Explore this world around you, and to live. I mean, I can't make it up, Pile 1. So, Pile 1, that is all of your tarot cards. Let's get some oracle cards for you, and then you'll be on your way. Messages for Pile 1, please, Spirit, on how. Oh my. Oops. Messages for Pile 1 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter, and also how they can fall in love with life again. Messages for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Messages for Pile 1. Let's get some advice and guidance for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for Pile 1. Take that one. We have rupture. Sometimes a rupture occurs in our lives. Sometimes a rupture occurs in our lives. Rupture. Sometimes a rupture occurs in our lives that completely breaks our hearts. Our expectations and hopes and dreams for a certain kind of future are shattered beyond repair, and there is no turning back to the old ways of being. It is okay to grieve. It is okay to feel the heartbreak. Sometimes a rupture breaks us open like a geode, revealing the brilliance of our being that we otherwise would have never known. We may break, but we also learn new ways to survive and mend ourselves back together into new shapes. So, Pile 1, there's an obvious message there with regard to grief, of course, but I think that card really encapsulates everything that we saw here with your reading with regards to aligning with your soul's next chapter. This is about processing disappointment and grief and loss of something in your life, and understanding that it's for your highest alignment. And that's not to say that someone transitioned or passed on for your highest alignment as if that was the sole purpose of that. But Spirit is saying this is something that is so painful and dire for you right now, but it's going to light you up from the inside in some way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean you're going to feel good about it, but it's going to cause you to go within the deep recesses of yourself and learn to find the light, even in the darkest circumstances. Let's get a few more oracle cards for you, Pile 1. Okay, we're not taking all of those. Pile 1, let's get out of this haze, Pile 1. Messages, advice, and guidance for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Breathe. Pay attention to your breathing, the sacred intake of air that began your singular lifetime here on this earth. Slowly fill your lungs with air and silently thank the plants of this earth for providing you with oxygen to breathe. As you exhale, think of all the living beings on this earth, breathing with you in this present moment, sharing this simple miracle. Think of how, with every breath, you are taking in a new cycle and releasing an old cycle to create space for the next new one again and again and again. So Spirit is telling me this card is sort of indicative of that King of Cups reversed. that they're asking you to transform into the Queen of Cups upright, which Spirit is saying to process through grounding. And also in the days that you feel lost and you just don't know where things are headed, take some time, go within and center yourself and ground yourself through breathing and connecting with the earth, but also doing this as a reminder of your connection with the living, for one, because that's something we all who are alive have in common. We're all breathing. And it's also your reminder that other people are going through what you're going through. Even if you can't see it, even if you haven't said it, Spirit is also saying perhaps to seek out connection with others who are grieving or who have been through similar processes as you, and to honor what you've lost by taking in a new cycle and releasing old cycles through breath. Breath work is some advice and guidance for you, Pile 1. One final message for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Final advice and guidance for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Final advice and guidance for Pile 1, please, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Healing. Sometimes healing is simply excavating what is buried within you. Sometimes healing is unlearning old patterns and trying on new ones. Sometimes healing is simply patience and doing nothing and letting yourself rest, trusting that the healing you need is happening in the background when you're sleeping, eating, and going about your day to day, even if you're not fully aware of it. No matter your unique healing journey, know this: you are not wrong, you are not broken, you are loved, you are supported, and you do not have to go through anything alone. Spirit is saying the entire process is correct. Okay, they say there's 7 stages of grief that we go through. Some might argue there's more, some might argue there's less. Some feel like they're going through one stage over the other forever. Spirit is saying there's no wrong way of grieving what you've lost. There's no wrong thing to grieve over, and it's all okay. Spirit is saying your feelings are valid, and understand that your feelings are valid. Also, understand that you belong with us, you're supported, people care about you. I care about you. Pile 1, I hope this reading resonated with you. It was a pleasure to read for you today. I'm sorry if you're struggling with some loss or some heavy things, and I hope it gets better for you. Thank you for joining me today, and have a good one. Pile 2, if you chose the Ace of Swords or the card in the thumbnail with the pink border, this is your reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. Let's get into it. Messages for Pile 2, please, Spirit. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Messages for Pile 2. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? Thank you, Spirit. 6 of Pentacles. For Pile 2, how can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? The Hanged Man. How can... Ooh, thank you. 4 of Wands. Okay, Spirit said, I got something to say. And I don't know if you can see the Devil peeking out and the Chariot reversed peeking out. So we've got some toxic traits and something that ain't moving. And Spirit is saying with that hanged man, it ain't moving for a reason. Let's keep going, though. For Pile 2, how can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? 6 of Cups. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? My goodness, they're really flying out for you, pile 2. The Empress. For pile 2, Spirit. How can pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Pile 2. How can pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Okay, then. Temperance. Lots of major arcana cards on the board for us today. For pile 2, please, Spirit. How can pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? So pile 2, already I'm getting that you're looking for a reciprocal romantic partnership. We have the Moon reversed. Man, that's a lot of major arcana cards. So this really screams aligning with your soul's next chapter. And we have the 7 of Wands reversed and the Ace of Cups reversed. And for the bottom of the deck, we have the King of Cups reversed. So the message for you, pile 2, on how you can align with your soul's next chapter is very clear. Spirit is saying that if you're in a moment of singleness right now, this is a part of divine alignment. Or even if you're already in a romantic relationship, but it feels like there's a lull or you guys are on a break, Spirit is saying that's intentional. Can you guys see the cards? Is all the lighting good? Move that down just a touch. So if you're on a break with your current partner right now, or you're going through singleness, or you're in separation with your partner, also if you're someone who identifies as a twin flame, I am seeing some signals for the twin flames. If you are someone who is seeking romantic love but just not finding it, Spirit is saying to align with your soul's next chapter. They're not asking you, they're telling you, for one, it's time to pump the brakes. It's time to pump the brakes because you're looking for a connection that is romantically reciprocal for you. And to do that, we have to draw our energy in backwards. If you're someone who's chronically going on dates, like Tinder dates, Hinge dates, like out there looking for love, Christian mingle, Spirit is saying, they're not asking you, they're telling you all of that shit is on a break for right now. It's time to go within, and specifically Spirit is saying that it's time to learn from our past mistakes, learn and integrate past lessons, and also just aggregate the information that you've gained. Like if you're someone who's been chronically dating, or if you're someone who's chronically married and engaged and still looking for love, like if Jennifer Lopez, if you're reading this, Jennifer Lopez, hey babes, this is about you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding, guys. But actually, I'm not kidding. If for some reason J-Lo or someone like J-Lo was watching this reading, this play is about us, babes. Like, It's using J-Lo as reference because J-Lo is someone who's been married many times and clearly has been looking for love and feels dissatisfied or isn't finding it. Spirit is saying it's time to go within, change your perspective on finding someone who is equally yoked in providing reciprocity, and to learn from the past. Learn from the past when we weren't in our Empress energy or when Empress energy was necessary. If this is a twin flame reading, I'm getting that you are the divine masculine, most likely, which is probably the first time that a tarot reading has been about the divine masculine and not the feminine. I see that this is speaking to divine masculines because the Empress card, which is the most indicative of the divine feminine, is on the board next to Temperance. And this is Spirit saying that maybe you've been, even if that doesn't resonate for you, if you're not on a twin flame journey, Spirit is saying that we need to integrate the divine feminine energy, which means we need to up our standards. We need to learn our value. We need to learn the value of our emotions and the depth of what our nurturing nature provides to both ourselves and others. Spirit is telling you to call your energy back to you, call your energy back to you, and integrate what you've learned about yourself and others while dating, what you've learned about yourself and others while married, what you've learned about yourself and others while navigating another failed relationship, what you've learned about yourself and your partner if you've been married for 10 years, what you've learned about yourself and your partner if you've been married for 2 years and are considering divorce or getting separated, or what you've learned about yourself and others if you're considering opening the relationship. Spirit is saying this is not the time to hide your emotions from yourself, and to lie to yourself, really. Spirit is saying it's time to get objective and to really understand yourself in love. Where have you focused on the past too much? Where have you been hot and cold? Where have you been unclear about your desires and what you truly want? Where have you allowed others to be unclear about their desires and what they truly want? Where have you lied to yourself about what you truly want? Where have you given up or conceded on things that were actually important to you? You know, we talk about compromise as being very important in romantic relationships, but for many people who've never truly learned the art of compromise, they might find in their first attempts to compromise that they actually just conceded rather than compromised, and they've been in a long-term relationship with someone who always gets what they want because that person always can articulate why they want what they want better, and you're trying to be a good partner to them or something like that, and so they always end up winning. Spirit wants you to assess where you've let yourself down, but Spirit is also saying we have these two feminine energies presenting themselves. We have the Empress and we have the Moon reversed. The Moon reversed is about assessing the negative, what you would call negative. It doesn't actually just have to be negative. Instead of thinking in terms of negative and positive, Spirit prefers that you look at this in terms of what is serving you and what's not serving you. Spirit is asking you to assess what is serving you, what's really working in these romantic relationships and this pursuit of romance and life partnership and 10 of Cups, and what is not serving you. What have you been concealing from yourself that you know it now is not serving you? And Spirit is asking you through this Hanged Man to integrate this. Take the time to integrate it. When we see the 6 of Cups, this is talking about reflecting on the past or friendship. Spirit is asking you to be a friend to yourself and reflect on the past before you just go and try to move forward or skip past your emotions or skip past everything that you've learned, because this is what's going to align you with your 10 of Cups, your desire for romantic love and partnership and union. This is what's also going to bring you closer to union and alignment if you're on the twin flame journey, if you're someone who identifies as a twin flame. Spirit is also saying with that Ace of Cups in reverse, they're also saying, like, don't be so eager to just keep giving this cup away. Not because you're restraining your cup, but Spirit is asking you to just be a little bit more discerning and to be generous with your cup, with yourself right now. Be a little bit stingy with who you decide to give that to. Spirit is asking you to divest from romance outside of yourself in one way, shape, or form. That doesn't mean to divorce your partner unless you feel in your deepest intuition that it's time to let them go. But it just means to assess the connection right now, to look at it with more discerning eyes. And Spirit isn't asking you to do this from a place of conflict or anger or rage. Spirit is asking you to be even keeled in it and to be fair and just in that assessment. Let's get some more tarot cards for you, Pile 2, to see more of the story on how you can align with your soul's next chapter, because it's getting interesting. Messages for Pile 2 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter, please, Spirit. For Pile 2, please, Spirit, how can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Thank you, Spirit. 3 of Pentacles upright. Dang, Spirit, you just really wanted to bring the whole deck out. For what reason, though? Messages for Pile 2 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Yes. 7 of Cups. Spirit is already talking about being more discerning with who you choose to collaborate and work on things with, and understanding you got options, okay? Spirit is saying, and weigh them out too. Don't think you don't have options, Pile 2. You have options. Take that Hanged Man time to assess the options that you have in front of you. And choose what intuitively aligns the most with you. Choose what intuitively aligns the most with you. And that is where your new beginning or your Fool is going to be. Again, that doesn't mean divorce or break up with your partner. Spirit is asking you to fairly assess the options and choose who or what you're willing to collaborate with in order to generate a new beginning in that. So this could be someone who is considering a vow renewal. That vow renewal would be a new beginning. That's the total opposite of divorcing your long-term partner. But for some of you, it could also be choosing, I'm only going to collaborate with myself. I've given 10 years of myself to this marriage. I'm not going to give 10 more. New beginning, okay? Clarify the 3 of Pentacles upright, please, Spirit. Clarify the 3 of Pentacles upright. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Clarify the 3 of Pentacles upright. King of Swords. That's about being more discerning. The message for that one is very clear. Choosing who to collaborate with, who to work on things with, who to invest energy with, what amount of energy to invest with, and using your discernment to do so. Clarify the 7 of Cups, please, Spirit. This could also be for someone who's trying to figure out, this is both a romantic reading, primarily a romantic reading, but Spirit just told me just now, this could also be with regards to someone's career or like work ethic, especially if you're trying to choose between changing industries or staying within your industry. Spirit is asking you to use your discernment to choose how you collaborate in business and in work, whether that's starting your own new firm, like I'm getting someone potentially starting a consulting firm. If you've been considering that, that's a sign for you. Staying at your current firm, staying at your current place of business, but renegotiating the contract, renegotiating the amount of money. Spirit is all in all asking you to reevaluate everything with regards to your romantic life or your professional career in order to have a new beginning. And what that new beginning looks like is figuring out through discernment what serves you, whether that's money, if it's within your professional career, or what's emotionally fulfilling for you in romance. Because Spirit is saying you've done the time, you've put the time in, Pal, too. Now it's time to renegotiate. And that's why Spirit is moving through your life with that Hanged Man, because they want you to see you, and you to see your romantic connections or your career from a new vantage point. Clarify the Seven of Cups upright, please, Spirit, for pile 2. The Empress. So the Empress is coming up again. This is about nurturing new opportunities and dreams, discerning which new opportunities, dreams, professional career, romances, all of that. Spirit saying all of that. Determining through your emotional body, not necessarily what's logically correct, not necessarily through your logical mind, but through your heart and through your intuition. Renegotiating, shifting your perspective, and choosing what is going to serve you on the heart and soul level moving forward. Spirit just said, it don't got to make sense to everybody. It just has to make sense to you. Clarify the Fool upright, please, Spirit. Clarify the Fool upright. They also said for someone who is maybe considering getting divorced, Spirit literally just said, don't worry about your kids. After they gave me that message of it doesn't have to make sense to everyone, it just has to make sense to you, they said, don't worry about your kids. So I don't know who needed to hear that, if that's going to resonate with some of you or one of you, but Spirit is saying the kids will be fine. Don't worry about them. Focus on building a beautiful co-parenting dynamic and relationship if that's something your heart and soul is telling you to do. Clarify the Fool, please, Spirit, for pile 2. How can pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Hanged Man. Wow, pile 2. We just got 2 cards from the original set of cards. So again, this is about taking a new perspective. These cards couldn't be more redundant. Spirit is asking you to do something new in order to facilitate a new perspective. I'm hearing the word like a new lease on life, and also Spirit is referencing like an eat, pray, love journey. Like eat, pray, love, babes. I don't know what else to tell you. What do y'all want from me? Pile 2, that is your reading. Let's get some oracle cards for you for advice and guidance on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. This is a pretty fun reading for you. I'm excited, Pile 2, and if you feel it resonates, or if it resonates in a couple months and you feel called to come back, write me a comment so I can hear how this resonated with your story, because I want to hear all about the eat, pray, love, okay? All right, advice and guidance for Pile 2, please, Spirit. Advice and guidance for Pile 2 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Advice and guidance for Pile 2 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Body. Oh my God. Spirit, that was too funny. Spirit said, body, yada, 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 yada. Okay, maybe someone is a huge Megan Thee Stallion fan, or maybe you need to become a Megan Thee Stallion fan, because I've gotten this card plenty of times and I never heard that. It says, our bodies are sacred living vessels that carry us moment by moment through the miracle and wonder of being alive. Admire and adore your body and all that your body does for you. When was the last time you showered your body with praise, gratitude, and admiration? Place a hand somewhere on your body and let your body know, I love you. Thank you. I am so grateful for you. Take the time today to worship and adore your body from head to toe in all its sensual glory and beauty. Paul, too, I'm getting that someone might be going through menopause or just like they're having bodily changes that are causing them to reassess their relationships or their professional career. And Spirit told me, and this is something you can do whether you're 18 and up or 18 and under, because we should all be connected to our bodies, especially if you're someone who's a female identifying person. There's an exercise that I love and I think is so meaningful, which is, of course, in a space of privacy with the door locked. It should be an exercise for you to connect with your body in privacy and to really learn and see your anatomy. To take a mirror, put it between your legs and look at what you have between your legs and really understand and appreciate your body in all of its facets. It's so rare that we have a look and see what's going on down there. And also, a friend told me this when I was traveling, because we were talking about this very exercise and what it meant for us and how curious it was to see these parts of our body that are so rarely talked about or given the respect that they deserve. And my friend told me, but have you looked at the a-hole? And I said, you know what? I took that mirror and I looked between my legs, but I didn't even look as far as I should look. So look at everything down there. Get acquainted with your body and get a newfound respect for your body, especially if you're someone going on the wonderful and exciting. And yes, it is wonderful and exciting because it is a new frontier, even if it comes with hot flashes and stuff. If you're going through the journey of menopause, maybe get back down there, babes, and explore and see what your body is changing and transforming into, because I don't know if you know, but it does change and transform when you go through menopause. And that's for those who are female identifying. But hey, if you're not female identifying, if you're queer, if you're they, them, if you're he, him, you can also get down there and do the exercise too. All in all, this is an exercise to help you learn to appreciate and understand your body more in all of the nooks and crannies, okay? More messages and advice and guidance for Paul 2. Okay, Paul 2, that one came out. Oh, I love this advice and guidance for you, Paul 2. It says boundaries. And doesn't this little boundaries guy look so cool? Like, he looks so cool. Boundaries are a tremendous act of self-love. Respect your unique and singular energetic body, your ability to consent to what you take on from others and what you give to others in the form of time, space, energy, and resources. Boundaries protect what is important to you while also allowing in the energy of people you trust. It is okay to say no. It is okay to say yes. It is okay to change your mind. Ultimately, you always have the final say. If others are disappointed, then that is their problem and not yours. I'm getting Sharon Stone for this reading. So I don't know if any of you, and Gillian Anderson, check out like some of the things Sharon Stone and Gillian Anderson have said about women empowerment or feminism. And this, again, isn't gendered. This isn't just for female identifying people, because we should all be feminists, and feminism is for all bodies and all genders. Feminism creates a more fair and just society for everyone. And I think with this card is speaking to your alignment with your soul's next chapter being maturity. That's what I'm getting with body and boundaries. You're becoming someone who is more evolved and more mature. And look, you don't take as much shit as you used to. I'm hearing with that boundaries card, I'm too old for that. Like, that might be how you set your boundaries. I'm too old for that. I'm too old for that nonsense. And that's a quick way to just set your boundaries. Wow, what a fun reading, Pile 2. And let's get one more for Pile 2. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Let's keep it fun, keep it cute, Spirit. How can Pile 2 align with their soul's next chapter? Ooh, I love this card. Non-linear dream time. Time is not always linear. Life is not always a rational progression from A to B to C. Your waking life may feel like a surreal dream vortex, a mysterious storm of synchronicity, uncanny coincidences, messages from the future, and echoes from the past, all swirling together in one vast ocean of memory and time. Surrender to the weirdness of it all and let unexpected solutions and unpredictable detours guide you rather than completely confuse you. Sometimes the rational is nonsensical, and sometimes the nonsensical is actually the most rational. Spirit is saying don't take things too seriously, because despite what everyone would have you think about what reality is different for everyone, and science has already proven that whatever you believe is your reality. So if you feel like someone who's being limited in their romantic connections, limited because they're aging, limited in their professional careers, Spirit is saying it's never too late to change your reality, to believe in something different. And also, don't listen to this BS these other people are saying, because guess what? They don't know what's going on either. And that's by design. Everyone's here just trying to figure it out. So Spirit is saying you might as well have fun, Pile 2. Period, Pile 2. That is your reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. This was such a fun one. I'm so excited for you, Pile 2. Please share any stories with regards to this resonating for you, because this seems like such a beautiful journey. And thanks for joining me here today. I hope you have a good one. Pile 3, if you chose the Lovers or the card in the thumbnail with the green border, this is your reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. Let's get into it. Messages for Pile 3, please, Spirit. Oh my goodness, already flying out. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? Page of Swords. So I started hearing that song, you gotta be cool, you gotta be bold, you gotta be wiser. I don't know the name of that song, I can't remember. You gotta stay together. I don't know it, but maybe you know it. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? Knight of Swords. We've got a lot of communication that has to be done, I think, Pile 3. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? Oh, that one. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? Oh, not. I said, oh, Lord Jesus, it's a fire. Then I ran for my life. That's what I heard. 6 of Pentacles, guys. Give me 1 second while I relight that candle, huh? I also just heard... What is going on, Pile 3? I also just heard, I'm a bad bitch. You can't kill me. Okay, good for you. And also, please always keep in mind, bad bitch is a gender neutral term, guys. Pile 3, I'm not sure why it always happens, but I swear every time I read for you, someone comes in the other room and starts making a ton of noise. So I'm going to try and work on that so that you guys don't have that interference in your readings going forward. But just bear with me if you hear any background noise today. So let's keep going. How can you align with your soul's next chapter? Pile 3, it's already getting interesting. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? How can Pile 3? Okay. We got the Knight of Cups, the Wheel, and the 8 of Swords. I'm not going to take all of those. I just wanted y'all to note that they came out. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? One card, Spirit. How can Pile... Okay, thank you, Spirit. They said, oh, one card? Bet. We have Temperance. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? 10 of Cups. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? 2 of Wands. How can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? Queen of Cups. And how can Pile 3? Okay, the High Priestess. So, first impressions of your cards, Pile 3. Bottom of the deck is the 3 of Wands reversed. The first impression that I got for you, Pile 3, is to honor your family system. If you're someone who has been no contact with your family or just struggling within your family dynamic, just feeling like it's not working out, it's not conducive to your growth. Spirit is asking you not to divest from your family just yet. Don't walk away from them. If you have walked away, maybe you're debating or thinking about reconvening. Spirit is saying it is possible to have a reciprocal family dynamic with your family. Spirit is saying there's no need to diverge paths or split here. What's the word I'm looking for? It's ironic because I have a message here for you with regards to communicating. There it is. Effective communication is what's going to bridge the gap on your relationship with your family. We see a need for effective communication here with the Page of Swords and the Knight of Swords. And then we also see Temperance here, right? Which is telling me that there's just a need to integrate things. Maybe you're having a little bit of an imbalance with your family or a tizzy, a little fight with your family because they see something different for your life or they don't honor what you've chosen for your life. Maybe this is for someone who has a family that wants them to go to college right away after high school, but they want to take a gap year. Or maybe you have a career where your family just doesn't value that career in the way that you do, or they don't honor that career. Maybe you have a partner that you really love who your family just doesn't get why you love them. They don't honor that connection. Spirit is saying, we know the imbalance is present. We know that, but the only thing that's necessary is to remember to commit to yourself, and where you're standing is not wrong. Your perspective is not wrong. It's not that one is wrong or right. Stick by yourself, stick by your side, but also be an effective communicator. So if they don't honor your partner, Spirit is saying it's okay to have boundaries. Communicate with your family. If they want to see you at the holiday events or they want you to be around, you would love to be around with them. But this partner is a part of your life. I'm getting that maybe someone's family isn't as tolerant of the LGBTQIA plus community in the ways that they should. Maybe you've recently come out and your family is just trying to ignore it. Spirit is saying, deep in your heart of hearts, in your intuition, you know what's fair and just to you. You know what's right. And you also know that you don't have to sacrifice your 10 of Cups, your relationships with your family, all the amazing memories you guys have made. You don't have to sacrifice that. You don't have to lose them just because you don't see eye to eye. And that's not like, there's this current, at least in the US, at least in America, there's this current like landscape of like, how can I go to Thanksgiving dinner with my family when they believe in certain political beliefs and I don't. This isn't saying to tolerate, extremeness. That's not a word, is it? I think it is a word. It's not saying to it's not saying to, oh my God, take a beat. I'm finding it. It take you that long? It does. It's not saying to tolerate their extreme. It's not saying to tolerate their extreme behaviors or extreme disrespect. Spirit isn't saying that at all. But Spirit is talking to those of you who are, still within a framework of respect and love within your relationships. You're just not seeing eye to eye, or you're needing to take a break. Spirit is saying it's okay to have a difference in perspective. It's okay to have boundaries. We just need to rely on basic human decency, effective communication, and an understanding between the two of you that you can still integrate and have this meaningful relationship without necessarily wanting the same things. It's your life to live. If you want to take a gap year, or you want to leave your career behind, if you want to drop out of med school or something like that, or law school, if your family always thought you should be a doctor or lawyer, this is your life. It's not their life to live, and they just have to get used to this different reality. That doesn't mean you love them any less. It doesn't mean that you have to change your perspective. What it does mean is that they have to get used to this new reality, and you have to meet them where they're at with mutual respect, because that's what's going to do right by you. That's what's going to teach your family new ways and new perspectives, and give them soul growth. And that's what's going to allow you to maintain the family structure and move forward in a healthier family dynamic. So Spirit is saying you don't need to give up. We saw that 3 of Pentacles reverse. You don't need to travel or widen the gap between the two of you. Your ships are still coming in, and it can still all be very meaningful for you and work out. Let's take some more tarot cards for you, Pile 3, on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. There's also a very big message there for you, Pile 3, on standing your ground and sticking up for yourself. Messages for Pile 3. Tell us more to the story, Spirit, on how Pile 3 can align. Okay, I'm getting a little sick and tired of the fire hazards, Pile 3. Can y'all control these cards? Okay. For Pile 3, how can Pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter, Spirit? That one really wanted to be seen. So we have the Ace of Swords upright. Messages for Pile 3. And it's so funny, Pile 3, that I was mentioning the little bit of noise, and your message was about a healthy family, because if you can hear and pick up on some of those sounds, here we have another message regarding family. We have the 6 of Cups. There's a tiny little family outside of my production studio with their baby, and that baby is over there just laughing up a storm. Perhaps there's a message here for someone as well who either had teen pregnancy when they're younger, or is currently dealing with the teen pregnancy. And you've decided to keep the baby. A lot of people aren't necessarily going to agree with that choice. Your family may have some fears around that choice. And it's very important to understand, if that's something that resonates for you, that Spirit is saying you don't need to try and assuage their fears, because you're not going to. For one, no one, I know if you're a teen and you're pregnant, even if you ain't a teen, if you're a single person who's pregnant or something like that, it's scary being pregnant. We never know what world we're bringing our children into. We have a little bit of an idea, but it can go either way. And so Spirit is saying, don't try to assuage their fears, because you're never going to convince people that, oh, if you're a teen and you're pregnant, like you're going to be the picture perfect parent. They weren't the picture perfect parents, but also they need to understand what the new reality is. And that new reality doesn't have to break up your family. It is going to require not compromise. It's going to require some stepping up on both sides to find a way for that new reality to be birthed and to exist. But all in all, it's just going to serve to make the family healthier and stronger. And if you're someone who is ushering a new life into this world, you need to understand that at the end of the rainbow is always a beautiful, beautiful new journey, because you're ushering in new life. And if you're a teen who's pregnant, or first-time mother, first-time parent, a single parent for the first time, I feel for you, and I wish you some ease on that journey, because raising children is no walk in the park. But the fact that, as I was saying, there's a family that is outside of here that's just so incredibly jovial and having fun, and this loud little baby that is just screaming. You know, when you can hear, when you can hear someone smiling when they speak to you, I keep hearing this baby screaming, and I can hear this baby is just smiling away, having an amazing time with its parents, okay? Messages for pile 3 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Let me be very clear too. That is not me condoning underage pregnancy, okay? And that is not me telling anyone underage to go out there and get pregnant or have a baby. That is not me confirming that you should keep it or not keep it. That's not at all what that message was about. So don't say you heard anything with regards to those things. Here, that was just one of the potential messages that was coming through. We have the 5 of Cups. Let's clarify the Ace of Swords, please, Spirit. How can pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? Clarify the Ace of Swords, please. 9 of Swords. Spirit is saying it could be useful to communicate what's keeping you up at night and communicate your fears and things like that. In fact, Spirit already mentioned that you can't assuage the other person's fears. Strangely enough, Spirit is saying if you're struggling with your relationship with your family in some way, shape, or form, just being vulnerable and communicating how much this rift has meant to you, just being vulnerable, that can be an access point that opens the door for coming back to common ground and coming back and rekindling that relationship. Clarify the Six of Cups, please, Spirit. Clarify the 6 of Cups. How can pile 3 align with their soul's next chapter? Clarify that. Oh, you see how that flew out? King of Pentacles. I think, oh, you want that in reverse, Spirit? I'm going to take it in reverse. That's how it came out. We have the King of Pentacles reversed, clarifying the 6 of Cups. So Spirit is saying with that one, okay, material. It's not about the material. This isn't about being grounded in a material or abundance-based reality. You shouldn't be approaching this rekindling of the relationship on a like tit for tat kind of dynamic or anything like that. Spirit wants you to approach this with emotional vulnerability. Don't let anyone just like buy you a gift to apologize, and you don't just buy gifts to apologize. Spirit is saying we're giving you an opportunity to walk away from any unhealthy or an unhealthy dynamic within your family structure and to build and create an even stronger, more meaningful bond within your family. So don't just tarnish that by providing false stability or false apologies. Yes, things feel unstable right now, but it's only through that contrast of things feeling unstable in this moment that will allow you to strengthen your familial foundation and have true stability later. Clarify the Five of Cups upright, please, Spirit. Final card for pile 3. Clarify the Five of Cups upright. What is pile 3 walking away from, Spirit? Clarify the Five of Cups upright. Page of Cups. So that's pretty much exactly as I said, pile 3. You're walking away from this false stability and this old framework for your familial relationships, and you have a small vulnerable offering that you can bring to your family to hopefully bridge the gap. So Spirit is saying, even if you can't resolve everything fully, you don't know how to fix everything, because sometimes we get overburdened and we're like, I don't know how to fix it, I don't know how to do it all. Spirit is saying you don't have to fix it all, you don't have to do it all you have to do is be vulnerable, communicate effectively, and offer that love again, because that's what you and your family are both looking for. Whether there's pride in the middle of everything, pride and ego, Spirit is saying at your core, you versus your family, not something that's working. Both parties want to come back together to the amazing, fun, loving, connected family that you once had. So, pile 3, those are your tarot cards on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. Let's take some oracle cards and get you some advice and guidance on how to align with your soul's next chapter. Advice and guidance for pile 3, please, Spirit. That was a pretty quick reading for you today, pile 3. I'm surprised that message was pretty quick. Advice and guidance for pile 3 on how they can align with their soul's next chapter. Advice and guidance for pile 3. Advice and guidance for pile 3. There we go. Sparks. What makes you feel like the most alive version of yourself? Before we analyze things with our critical and rational thinking minds, our bodies communicate to us. Excitement blooming in our chests like giant flowers, rivers of electricity racing up and down our spines, our faces breaking into radiant smiles, our lips parting to let out joyful screams of glee. Our bodies don't lie when we're excited and delighted. What makes our hearts swell with the big, resounding, visceral yes? Let the sparks and currents of your bodily joy move you toward the beauty of your truth of what is to come. So Spirit is saying it's time to bring back lightness and levity within your family structure. This comes back to that Page of Cups that we saw. That small vulnerability and that love offer of playfulness can be the access point of bridging your family back together and finding peace with each other. Because when our parents can be really stubborn because they're older. Parents can be very stubborn if this is with regards to your parental relationship. But usually it's because they want what's best for us. And a lot of the times, because there was a time when they were so young and they met every single need for you, food, housing, every need, emotional needs, they think they know what's best. And sometimes they haven't really caught up to how mature we've become, even if we're, say, in our 30s or 40s, even if we got a handle on things. Sometimes they just haven't caught up. But the way that we can reconnect is just by finding play within each other and reminding reminding our familial relationships of what it's like when we're at our best together. Let's take some more cards for you, pile 3. For pile 3, oh, that one came out real quick. Sun Crown. In the court of the universe, we are all divine royalty infused with stardust and miracles. If you have been taught to hide and shrink yourself, sometimes the most healing thing is to let yourself be seen for exactly who you are. Shine brightly, child of the universe. When you let your true radiance overflow, your divine visibility gives others the permission to let themselves be seen and celebrated too. For the rest of today and for the rest of your life, move through the world with boldness, with your head held high as though a sun crown of golden light enshrines you. This message is coming through for those of you, again, who are maybe pursuing ways of living that your parents don't necessarily agree with, you know, going for a more creative career versus a more stable one. Maybe you've recently come out with your sexuality and, you know, they're a very religious or conservative family. Spirit is saying, you'll notice the message within this pile was never to concede. It was never to give up on your truth. It was always to honor your truth. Spirit is saying, don't let anyone take away your light, even if they gave you birth to you. Okay, Spirit is saying to stand in your light, stand in your truth, and it's okay. It will all resolve. But there is to be no dimming of your light in resolving this connection. This is a part of aligning with your soul's next chapter, embodying yourself no matter what circumstances exist, confirm or deny your reality outside of you. Spirit is saying, walk and be in the truth of who you are at all times. One final card for pile 3, please, Spirit. One final card for pile 3. Okay, that one just kind of quietly snuck up on us like that. It says, molt. It is time to shed the constriction costume you have been wearing and let your weirdest, freakiest, uncensored self out into the open. Spirit said, let your freak flag fly. Oh my God, that was a tongue twister. What old identities no longer make sense for you to squeeze into? What can be shed like an ill-fitting skin for you to move through the world more freely as your true, magnificent self? It is okay if the molting process feels ugly, messy, or downright uncomfortable and scary. Embrace the process and be ready to experience the pleasure of no longer hiding. Let your real self be seen by the world. So that's double confirmation of what I just said. But Spirit is also just giving, I want to make sure I get this message right. Spirit is also giving you permission for self-discovery. Spirit literally said, I'm finding myself. I'm just trying to find myself. And Spirit is saying, that's okay. And again, it only has to make sense to you. It doesn't have to make sense to everyone else, because you only have one life to live and no one outside of you can live it for you. Okay? Period, pile 3. That is the end of your reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter, pile 3. It was such a pleasure to read for you today. I hope it resonated. I hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you have a good one, pile 3. Thank you so much for watching today's reading on how you can align with your soul's next chapter. It was such a pleasure to read for you today. Always fun, always enjoyable, always interesting. Friend, join the Cosmo Collective. If you want to join the Cosmo Collective, you can do so by liking, subscribing, or commenting. You know, tap in with me, friend. We always have fresh tarot insights weekly, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And of course, if no one told you today, or no one ever told you, I love you to the moon and back. Bye now.